going to be rattled, and I promise you, you might not be able to cope with it. Be ready to be stressed out. Yeah, look, you've been coming to Nigeria visiting. Oh, you came during December. You had like what, a couple £1,000, and you changed it, and you were so rich in Nigeria. It's not the same love as coming back here. I'm just going to tell you the first advice I'm going to give is throw away every idea you have of what is basic out the window, or better still, into the trash. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since we did this kind of sit down chit chat setup. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Now, coming back to Nigeria, you might say, I'm a Nigerian. Why am I saying all these things? I mean, I experienced severe cross-cultural shock.
He shock you!
When I went to England, I went when I was like done with secondary school in year 11, so that's equivalent SS2 in Nigeria. And when I had gone, I was pretty young, and I spent most of my like youth, like late teenage years there. When I finished my secondary school till uni, so I was there for a good like about 6 years. It's not just even the amount of time I spent, because it's about the period of time I spent. Most of my adult development happened whilst I was in the UK. It didn't happen in Nigeria. So a lot of things that obviously I had known of when I was younger, but having to deal with it as an adult is different. So for example, there's no electricity and stuff, and it's like when you're young, like, I mean, what do? Watch the television, go to school, and come back. You don't really have to actually deal with these things until now. So that's what making my experience, I think, a bit more jolting. And it's also making it like a bit like stressful for me, because I believe I'm supposed to be used to these things, but every time it happens, I'm not used to them. Every idea, like I said, you have a basic, throw it out the window. What do I mean? 911 don't exist. Fire service don't exist. Like, the police coming quick does not exist. You can call the police and they tell you they need fuel to come to where you are. In fact, my friend, her house was on fire, and they called this fire service, and they came 2 hours after the fire had almost burned down everything. You know, take the whole of basic like this and throw it out the window, because you're not going to be using that here. It's only going to frustrate you. So what's going to happen is your idea of basic is going to be shaped by where you are, right? And Nigeria specifically, basic differs from state to state. Like, something like basic water can differ from state to state. You might have good clean water in Abuja and Lagos. You might not have good clean water in Nasarawa State, you know. I'm not saying Nasarawa State doesn't have clean water. I'm just saying, like, for example, you might have good roads in Lagos, you might not have good roads in Abia. So you need to be able to acclimatize. Like, as you come to Nigeria, just come as an open amoeba and be shaped by whatever Nigeria gives you, because if you come with an idea, I promise you, you're gonna go back. You're gonna be disappointed. The only idea you should come here with is it's rough, it's unplanned, it's just moving. There's no structure, and there's no basic. So that leads me on to my next point. Like, no basic, nothing works. Nothing works. Like, literally, guys, when I say nothing works, I mean nothing works. The ATM does not work, electricity does not work, POS does not work. You can go somewhere, they tell you, oh, you know, we're doing cashless society, but at the same time, all the banks have service issues and you can't pay, right? And you're already eating their food. What do? Nothing works. You can't park. Like, there's no space to park. With all the space in Nigeria, people will build huge plazas and put 2 parking spaces and also expect the world to come there. Internet, data, you're going to spend so much money on data and internet that does not work. You're going to have 3 different services. I know someone who works in Nigeria, the American job, and they have 3 different internet providers. Do you know how absurd it is to have 3 different internet providers and still not be sure that you're going to have fully functional internet? Like, guys, it might be shocking to some that these things don't work, and it might be shocking to some that I'm just like being weird, because like I should be used to these things, but I'm not. Unfortunately, like, you know, you're going to spend so much money on data and have it finished and it's not working. There was one time my sister got a plan, I'm not going to say what service provider, and it was just on E the whole time. Her data expired like for the month, and she was not able to use the SIM at all for a month. I kid you not. Incompetence is the order of the day in Nigeria. Like, don't think anybody is competent at anything. Just come and do your thing by yourself. If you think your carpenter is going to do a good job, you're on your own. If you think the banker is going to give you a good service, you're on your own. If you think the plumber is going to give you a good service, you're on your own. People will tell you they know how to do things that they have never seen in their lives and they've never done in their lives. People will tell you they know how to fix cars that they've never seen or used in their lives. Just be ready for incompetence. And if you can, as much as possible, try and go to people that you bought things from to be able to fix them. Like if you bought a Toyota, go to the Toyota dealership and have it fixed. Because if you decide to use a workman or a serviceman in Nigeria, you are on your own. Literally, people come, fix stuff and steal parts from your, like there's a guy we used to have come and fix our ACs and he stole parts from the AC. Can you imagine that? Like, great example of incompetence I'm sure many people have faced is like even your tailor. They will tell you, oh, we're gonna have this available and ready for this day. On that day, you have to take police there. Many of my friends have had to take police to their tailors, like because they're running away, they don't want to release their clothes. If the tailor spoils your clothes, you're gonna pay that tailor, and also nobody's going to pay for your spoiled material, so you're going to get a double loss. Do you guys understand how deep it is, like how deep the incompetence is and how accepted? You see, that's the second thing. Like incompetence is very, very, very much so accepted in Nigeria. You know, it's like, oh, let me do another one for you. Do you know a tailor can even tell you, I don't like the style you gave me, I did the one I wanted to do, right? And I think it looks better on you or something crazy like that. It's crazy out here. It's a jungle out here. The next point for me is people are greedy in Nigeria. Like people are so greedy, and I feel like people blame it on poverty, but I'm not one to blame it on poverty. I've been to like other African countries and I assume like poverty, you know, levels are quite comparable in lots of African countries. And you see, when I went to Benin Republic, like someone can see your 200 whatever franc or whatever it was, I can't remember, I was really young, and pick it up and give it to you. But it's very rare to see that kind of thing happen in Nigeria. People are greedy. Someone will see you and think because you look rich, let me inflate the price for you. There's no standardizing to anything. Like I said before, there's no organization. And I think that kind of seeps into all the things I'm going to talk about, the lack of organization. Like Nigeria is not an organized mess, it's just Nigeria is anarchy. It's chaos, like literally. Like I could go somewhere and buy a mango for 200 and another person can go there and buy the mango for 50 naira because you look like you have more money. And you know, I just think the excessive greed comes from the fact that Nigerians worship wealth like so much. Nigerians are not just interested in like getting rich to better themselves. Obviously that's part of it, but Nigerians want to be so rich that they're better than the next person. You know, there's a lot of greed going on here and excessive worship of wealth, and you know, excessive worship of excessive wealth, you know, and people don't want to do it by legitimate means, partially because there are very few legitimate means in Nigeria. But at the same time, people just want to like scam another person and get money. You're going to be scammed at least once. Somebody is going to scam you, be it your gate man, whatever. Somebody is going to tell you something costs 20 naira when in fact it costs 2p. Just be ready for that. The only thing I would say with that is obviously get involved, right? But there's only so much involvement you can get into, especially when you're someone that's working or you're busy or you just don't like rowdy areas. Like I don't like going to markets. Nobody obeys the law, like nobody. That if you obey the law, you are going to be crazy. You're literally crazy. In fact, if you stop at a traffic light, especially in Abuja, people will be horning for you. Like they'll be blowing their horn that you need to move for stopping at a traffic light. It's so bad. Even the law enforcement agents in Nigeria don't respect the law. They don't obey the law. Nobody cares. Everybody just does as they want. Like somebody can come in front of you, build a shop. Someone can carry all their cows in front of your house. Somebody can beat the traffic lights. And you see, the law enforcement agents in Nigeria are more so concerned about making money out of situations than they are about enforcing the law, you know. So you just find lawlessness everywhere. You want to go and get your passport done on the website, it says 20,000 naira. When you get there, they tell you actually 60,000 naira, but they can actually make it quicker for you for 100,000 naira. Like, man, there's very arbitrary governance in Nigeria. What do I mean? You start a business today in Nigeria, you wake up tomorrow, and the government has passed a law that the business you started is illegal. Look at what happened to Gokada. Like literally, after taking so long to be able to set up such a company, the government came and said, oh, you're not allowed. Fair enough, government might have good reasons for wanting to do things. But when you don't consider the fact that people's lives are involved, people's, you know, families are involved, people's income, life, means of living are involved, they just wake up and make a rule, like, and it's like everybody's just supposed to follow that rule. And most times all these law enforcement agencies, like, again, are not concerned with enforcing the law, they're more concerned with making money out of you. Tell me why the institution I went to did not ask people for COVID tests, but they asked people to bring 2 hand wash. Everybody bring 2 hand wash. Mind you, in our set, we're over like 2,000 or close to 2,000 students in that campus. So what are you doing possibly with 4,000 hand washes? Like, I don't understand. We're only in school for barely like 2 months. Like, we're not going to run through that amount of hand wash. Like, what's going on? Like, what's that rule for? Why all of a sudden you came back to Nigeria? Now my sister came back, she can't buy a SIM because all of a sudden you can't buy a SIM. NIN, you just have to do it. All of a sudden everybody has to get NIN. Like, why is the government so arbitrary? Why is the law making so arbitrary? You wake up tomorrow, there's a new law and it's like do or die, and everybody. And the thing is, what's crazy is lots of average Nigerians are the ones suffering these things. People that are high and mighty in power in Nigeria don't suffer these things like at all. It's average people who just come to Nigeria and want to get a SIM but can't get a SIM because they're trying to do NIN registration and do an audit. So why weren't people informed ages before? Why wasn't there proper information given to Nigerian citizens and to people coming in that this is what's going to be happening? People are very short-sighted. There's a lot of like placing religion, and using religion as an enforcement onto people's lives. Like I don't even understand why your religion has anything to do with me. I'm a Christian, right? But I don't enforce my beliefs on other people because they are my beliefs. But it's not like that in Nigeria. You hear all sorts. Like, obviously, like religion make people feel like they have access, into other people's life. Because somebody believes in something, they then feel like they have access to survey your life. But what's crazy about Nigerians and their religion is they're some of the most hypocritical people, some Nigerians I've met, right? Because just following religion does not make you a good person. Like, because there are good people that exist outside of religion. Homophobia in Nigeria, child, let's not even get into that. That's a whole different story. There's so much judgment, there's so much pack sheep mentality, obviously because of religion and things like that. As a woman, coming to Nigeria is going to jolt you so much more on top of your jolting Nigerian experience, because you find out that like a gate man can talk to you anyhow because you're a lady, or just things like someone makes a passing comment because someone was not driving properly. Oh, now woman, like those kind of little things get to you. Talk more of the big things, like the pay difference, the harassment at work, the harassment in general as a woman in Nigeria. Do you know that somebody stopped me on the road and said I was not gonna pass? Imagine that. I had somewhere to be, blocked me in the middle of the road and blocked everybody else simply because they wanted to get a number. Like, these things are crazy. Do they happen anywhere else in the world, or is it just here? Like, Nigeria, as a lady, the amount of harassment you go through, and there's nobody to report to. There's nobody to run to. Next thing about Nigeria that jolted me was the fact that the quality of life is not the same. Like, as much as even when you are privileged, I would thank God and I would say I'm privileged. As much as I'm privileged, I don't think like this life is the same. The quantity of earnings, the capacity to earn, capacity to do things for yourself, access, even things like YouTube are so difficult here in Nigeria. Places don't let you film. You're not allowed to use your camera. You're not allowed to take pictures here. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do this. You have to spend so much money on data. You can't just walk into a cafe and get free Wi-Fi anywhere. Even if the Wi-Fi is free, it might not work. Like, it's a lot. That's my point. I think my point is it's a lot. So what all of this is saying is be ready to be stressed out. That's number one. Throw out any idea, any blossoming idea you have of Nigeria. Look, you've been coming to Nigeria visiting. Oh, you came during December. You had like what? A couple £1,000 and you changed it and you were so rich in Nigeria. It's not the same love as living here. It's not the same at all. It's just like going to holiday anywhere else. It's not the same. I would just say do your research as much as you can, by obviously like visiting here as much as possible. If possible, kind of shuffle in between if you have like something you want to do, and kind of like shuffle in between and see what works best for you and how you're going to structure your life here, right? Because if you just come, you're going to be shaken, you're going to be rattled, and I promise you might not be able to cope with it. You might even go into depression because it's a lot. Like, it's actually a lot. Like, my driver told me that he has to go 30 minutes away from his house to find somewhere to charge his phone when he doesn't come to work. Do you know how deep that is? Like, you know, if you come and get your own place, you want to buy a generator, you think Nigeria is cheap, you're going to go and see that a small generator, I saw it in H Medics the other day for like almost 170 something thousand. I put the pounds equivalent. That's minus the amount of fueling you have to do. Then next week you wake up and before you know it, diesel is no more 900, is no more 120 naira, it's 500 naira. And before you know it, pounds is now 700 naira. Like, you need to make sure that you are ready, number one. You are coming to Nigeria for your own reasons, number two. You actually have what you want to do here, number three. And you kind of pace yourself, right? Because there's no organization here. Don't expect anything, like literally. And yeah, like, I came back to Nigeria and I want to make Nigeria a better place. I believe this country has so much potential. I believe this country has the potential to be one of the greatest countries in the world. We just need to obviously keep not just talking, trying to do, you know, as difficult as it is to do in Nigeria. Just trying. Every little thing you do helps. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you guys have any ideas you want me to do, like, let me know. I'm up and I'm free for the meantime. I have a couple of months of free time, so I'm going to really be focusing on my content creating and stuff. But yeah, now for me to get ready and film my get ready with me video. Ooh, that's gonna be stressful.